Right, Ash, whereabouts in the world are we today?
We are currently spreading up by the Brownclea Hill in Shropshire.
What is it that you do?
Our main job's spreading lime over 4 counties, do a lot of direct drilling and a lot of fencing alongside helping other contractors out.
How long have you been contracting yourself now?
I've been on my own for almost 7 years now. Never gets any easier.
So what age were you when you started out then?
I started on my own when I was about 24, but I was driving for other contractors for 5 or 6 years before that, and then I decided to go on my own.
What was it like starting out?
Very stressful. Hard to find get the customers, and borrowed a lot of money, as you do to buy these machines. Grew from there really. If you guarantee you do a good job in word of mouth, and the customer base gets bigger and stronger, and just never let anybody down.
And what job are we on today?
We're spreading lime for a local beef and arable farmer onto permanent pasture. This is going to be direct drilled with the herbal lay in the next week or so, just getting the pH levels up to where they need to be to get the seeds to grow properly.
So why is lime needed then?
Basically, it neutralises the soil. So the soil over years becomes more acidic, and your yield of your crops reduce. All crops need different pH levels, but predominantly we aim for 6.5 plus on most arable land and grassland if we can.
So how do you figure out what ground needs what then? Do you sort of soil test as well?
We go around soil testing, crop bikes and that sort of thing. pH tests you can do in the field, very quick, very simple. And we also do like P and K tests and different nutrients tests. So yeah, work out if your soil's down below 6, say 5.5 pH, it needs a couple of tons to get it up above 6, and just try and keep everyone's soil up to date and get the best yields out of the ground. Because if your pH isn't correct, you're wasting your money on your fertiliser basically. Your nitrogen you won't utilise all your nitrogen, and we all know nitrogen's expensive, so get your lime right and you'll benefit your ground.
And you said that this permanent pasture is going to be direct drilled with herbal lay.
Yes.
So what's the idea with that then?
The herbal lay, obviously there's a lot of government SFI grants at the moment to benefit the world, etc. Carbon capture, bees and bugs and different bits. It's a good idea really. It's an incentive for the farmers to keep the countryside more diverse and different things happening. And
that's another service that you provide?
Yeah, we do a lot of direct drilling now.
What drill's that then?
An earth agri-seeder, 3 metre earth drill. It's a direct drill. Like a slot seeding drill. You can put grass through it, herbs, turnips, up to cereals really. It's quite a diverse machine.
How'd you find it?
Yeah, very good, very reliable. Yeah, we did just under 2,000 acres last year with it. I'm quite very impressed with it, to be honest, yeah. Yeah, minimal repairs.
So let's talk about the spreading side of things then. What spreader are you running?
We run an agri spread, AS2 120. Hell of a piece of kit, very impressed with it. We had a AS100 before, but this is just the next level of technology basically. We can get about 18 tonne in the hopper, so we sit around 400 plus tonne a day when we're on in a high season. We can spread fertiliser up to 36 metres with it, and lime up to say 15 metres. We spread a wide range of products from granular fert, fibre phos, predominantly lime, a lot of salt, and we get chicken muck through it. Anything I can put through it, we put through it. But we normally we try and aim for about 20,000 tonne of lime a year through well. We normally run 2 machines, but this machine's normally running 20 hours a day in the peak season. Very, very little breakdowns, absolutely great piece of kit.
Talking tractors.
We're running a 215R today, nice tractor. I like running the John Deeres on the job, they've been very reliable to us with a quickie loader on it. The loader's probably 5 years old and done a hell of a good service. We also run 724 Fendt, which is nice, more on the drill, but the John Deere's handy, very, very reliable. The chassis for the loader's very good, and yeah, they just, touch wood, never seem to let us down. They always seem to perform and do what they're asked to do.
How come you went for the Fendt then?
More so, I changed it in and the deal was right at the time, and I always wanted to try one, more for the comfort side of the job. They're a little bit nicer to drive than a John Deere. Yeah, I do like the Fendt. I probably have another one before too long. It's a bit more compact machine for the drilling and that sort of thing, and it's handy on the butt crate for the silage pits because the steering lock's better than the John Deere. So there's pros and cons to both really.
So when you're out on a job like this, obviously you have to load yourself. I see the
Yeah, we've just invested in a Seaweed Quick Hitch,
Yeah.
which is
Pretty cool bit of kit.
an awesome piece of kit. Yeah, saves getting out every 20 minutes and pulling your pipes out and putting your pipes back in.
How exactly does it work then?
Basically, it works like it's attached to your arms on the tractor, and you can reverse up to it, slide into it, and there's 2 rams that push all the pipes back together and lock it all in place. So you're unhooked and hooked back on, probably 5 seconds each time.
But that's been a big...
Oh, it's a game changer,
Timetable.
yeah. It's another 2 loads a day, and it's more just creature comforts because you don't want to get out all day. Especially when you're running at night, it's nice to stay in the cab because nobody likes flies flying around your cab.
So what sort of rates are you spreading out today then on permanent pasture?
We're spreading,
does it vary?
Yeah, it varies a lot. We're spreading 2 tonnes to the acre today because the pH is down and it hasn't had lime for a fair few years. But our rates can vary from a tonne to the acre up to 3 tonne plus to the acre. We do a lot of variable rate spreading now, so GPS maps from various different companies to save the wasted lime where it doesn't need it. And
So it just depends what the tests come back with to how much is
Yeah.
applied where, and
because a lot of fields aren't, you don't need to, the whole field doesn't need it. Quite often it does, but sometimes just a bit will need more than other places, and you know, just to try and get the field as a level playing field, get it all up to it so it's all equal all the time.
so that's just something you have to manage and
Well,
control from in
yeah,
here.
that's it. Well, it's quite handy. John Deere, you can send it straight to the internet to the screen. As you're going along, the machine will just change its rate as you're going along, which is very accurate. It works alongside the spreader's got its own density calibration mechanism in it, so if the product gets heavier, lighter, damper, the machine's working it out all the time. So it just keeps that precision farming level at peak performance at all times.
So talk us through the whole operation then. Do you supply the lime as well, or do you sort that, or how does that work?
We do the testing, supplying, spreading, everything really.
So the farmer gets a whole service from you?
That's it,
then?
we do the full service, yeah. We also spread for larger companies. We've 4 or 5 different companies we spread for, agronomy-based companies, alignment-based companies, all over Shropshire, Worcestershire, Herefordshire and the Cotswolds really.
But you do some miles on these tractors then?
Yeah, there's some days this could be do 150 miles on the road. A lot of it's between jobs, you know, but sometimes you could have to travel 50 miles to get to a job.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, look at the emails and go for a jolly.
So how do you find the contracting job then, Ash?
Yeah, you've got to want to do it. You've got to be born willing to go to work. It's not for the faint-hearted. You've got to like not sleeping half the year and just get on with it really. Live out of petrol stations and kebab shops and keep going.
What are some of the pressures of it?
The weather's always the biggest thing that's against every contractor. We're lucky because we can spread when it's damp or raining. We're not restricted to sun like combines and balers. Obviously there's a little bit of competition in the job, but not too much really. Steep ground's everyone's worst nemesis on a lime spreader.
She's quite stable. You've been on some testing ground today.
Oh yeah, I trust the spreader more than the tractor, to be honest. When it's right full with 18, 19 tonne in, no, you've got to be a bit careful. But when you're down to 5 or 6 tonne, yeah, we'll put it pretty well anywhere. And it's on some pretty big flotation tyres, which help us on the banks and reduces the compaction on the soil as much as we can, because that's the main objective. We run wide tyres on the tractor, wide tyres on the spreader, so we don't minimal damage to the ground as possible.
Who supplies your spreader for you then, Ash?
Spreaders come through a company up in Northumberland called Dale's Agri Sales. They're the UK stockists and suppliers for AgriSpread International, which are made out in Ireland, and they supply them all around the world. It's my 4th AgriSpread spreader we've had. We went from AS100 first, and AS85, then a smaller one. But you know, Dale's Agri, the backup is tremendous from AgriSpread and Dale, to be honest. Any issues, you're on the phone and it answers straight away. As in wearing parts on the machine, you've got discs on the back. That's pretty much all we've ever changed on any of the machines. They've been absolutely outstanding for reliability and performance. Like the last spreader I changed in had 150,000 tonne on the clock, and it didn't cost me hardly anything in breakdowns. Might have had 4 pipe scraps and 1 tyre, which isn't the spreader's fault, probably my fault.
How long will those discs on the back sort of last?
They're between 5 and 8,000 tonne normally. They're pretty good. Depends what products you're putting through. If you're putting more abrasive products, through. Like mag lime's a little bit harder on them than calci lime. They'll wear down a little bit quicker. But there's wear tabs on them, so you know where to change them in different bits. But no, they are pretty good pieces of kit. Yeah, this spreader holds up to 18 ton of lime. You can get brave if you want, but we normally run at about 14 to 15 tons if you don't want to take the mick out of the machine. The one before used to run at about 13 tons, which is quite handy. It's ideal. You can get a lorry load in two spreader loads. It's not a massive machine, you know, you're not lumping 30 ton of lime round everywhere. The big twin axle machine, it spreads the weight round. It's pretty handy. The sprung drawbar and everything's quite nice. You don't even know it's behind you on the road. This spreader's got a different design back on it now, which is the AS2 bit. But it's an adjustable spread deck on the back. You can move it in and out for different spread widths. And stones basically don't get stuck. It all just falls off. It's a fair design they come up with compared to the old machine we just got rid of. Just purely for accuracy, you can set it to however you want really, and it works very well. Through the screen or through the isobus, you can change whatever you want on the isobus, and all the recording's good. The weight cells are within a kilo accuracy, which is pretty good, especially when you're spreading fertiliser at not very high rates. The machine keeps an eye on it very well. See, this is a very big hopper. It can spread fertiliser just as good as a normal fert spinner really. They do make section control machines which can only do fert, which obviously is no good for us because we're doing lime a lot of the time. But the machine's very accurate, yeah. And the company with the Seaweed Hitch is probably one of the best machines on the market in comparison to like their competitions, because you've got different machines like KRM, etc. They run PTO shafts. The beauty of our machine is no PTO shaft. There's no grease in the PTO shaft, so greasing the machine takes 2 or 3 minutes, if that, and it's less things to go wrong because everyone likes bending PTO shafts.
So everything is hydraulically driven then?
Yeah, it's all hydraulically driven. It's all controlled by me in the cab. So this speed, everything's all set. You know, there's no. If they slow down, I can see straight away. Not like a PTO shaft where it's all controlled by the tractor.
How long have you been running the quick hitch for now?
We haven't had the quick hitch very long, to be honest. Last year we ran around with the 2 spreaders and a loader following us around all the time. So I've only had it for a couple of months, and yeah, I quite like the machine. Quite like it. It's just nice to use.
Obviously, that pays rather than having a load of folly around.
Oh, definitely.
Then.
Yeah, it makes you self-sufficient. The machine's self-sufficient anyway, but you've got to get out and unplug it. But now it's just you're not relying on that other person with a load all and another thing to break down, and basically reducing our costs. To be honest, if we reduce our costs, we try and reduce it to the customer. That's the whole idea of the job, and just make it more higher output, minimum input, really.
Obviously, you weighed that situation out then, and
oh yeah, definitely. I've thought about it for years. I've spread a few 100,000 ton of lime now. I've pretty well worked out which is a good way and bad way of doing it. I've tried all the bad ways and didn't like any of them, so I learned the hard way, and now I'm trying to go for an easy life. Well, it's never going to be an easy life. I mean, as you can see, it's quite rough in these fields, but
it was quite rough this morning, Ash.
Oh, it was.
You did well to stay in the seat, didn't you?
Yeah, them banks are pretty interesting. It'd be nice to have a union mog up on there or something. But yeah, no, you can't always have the flat fields. Sometimes you got to do the steep fields and take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
If you can live on 100-acre arable fields all day long, it'd be great.
We are in Shropshire.
We are in Shropshire.
It's quite hilly.
You've got the Shropshire Hills, you know, they're everywhere.
Is this tractor mainly tied to this spreader most year round then? Or?
Yeah, the 215s basically live on the spreader. They will come off to go lugging and different things. They will go on the drill occasionally. I just like leaving it on here. It looks nice on it, so I leave it on it. We could do with probably a bit more power at times on some steep banks. But we also do from like small paddocks where we're in now to horsey paddocks up to 200-acre fields. So you got a machine that can get in everywhere and do everything. If you went to a 936 Fendt, you're probably not going to get in off the gateways.
That'd be the problem there.
Yeah, so you've got to be mindful of that. We all like big toys, but they don't always work, do they?
Well, surely once the warranty's up.
Oh, there might be something going on. She might pull a little bit harder one day, perhaps. Yeah.
You never know.
No.
Never say never.
No, never say never. She might be a little rocket one day.
Going back to the drilling then, Ash, what other services can you provide with that?
Well, we're agents for Oliver Seed's seed company for the Midlands, so we supply and drill a lot of seed. like I said, from grass all the way down to your smallest herbs. We do a lot of ryegrass style lays for silage on dairy farms, etc. And also mixes with clover in. Predominantly at the minute is your SFI, your GS4 mixes and SAM3 mixes, which are grass mixes with herbs. Benefits the farmer from different sort of sward, benefits the wildlife, so everybody's happy really. It's a all-round win-win situation. Yeah, through who we sell seed for, we're doing a lot of that at the moment. Just rejuvenates old lays, and it's handy for the farmers because they're not doing it all off out their own pocket. It's subsidised by the government, which is quite a nice thing to happen.
Is there anything else you cover within your business then, Ash?
Yeah, we do a lot of like subcontracting for other contractors, lugging silage and buck raking, muck spreading and chicken muck lugging and that sort of thing. So yeah, if we do a fair bit of potato work as well, lugging. If we've got availability to go and help somebody else out and they need us, we'll happily go. Try and keep all our sister companies then happy and moving really. If someone's in trouble and we've got availability, why not go and help somebody else? We've got the machines, so we do a fair bit of silage work alongside everything else because we don't spread much lime during silage season, if that makes sense. Because normally everything's growing. So we go and jump onto that and yeah, keep everybody happy.
Has the contracting job changed over the years since you've been doing it? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, everything's got more technology advanced, hasn't it? Like GPS and everything. I remember spreading lime not that long ago without auto steer and GPS. Well, hell, that's like a thing of the past now. Auto steer is the best thing in the world. But yeah, the whole job has changed a little bit, and probably not for the better. There's less people involved in the business because the machinery's got bigger. A lot of people have left the industry because you can earn more money doing something else and less hours really. Who wants to sit in a tractor for 20 hours a day every day of your life? I do, but not a lot of other people do. There's easier ways to make a living, but there's not many offices. You get to look out the window and look at the brown clee and the clear hill. I like the lime job's like a sense of freedom because you're never in the same area very long, and it's just you're on your own, just doing what you want. A lot of moving, a lot of running around, like one day down the Cotswolds or somewhere, and it's people go there on holiday. I get to go there and get paid for it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right. Well, we'll leave you in peace now, Ash, and we'll let you get back to Radio 1.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Ash.
Mate, thank you.